I forgot to turn on our mics today. They're on now.
Okay.
That was fun. It was
Beware of those
the
copycats.
copycats. Get
They're
it?
always peeking
There's
around
two
the
of
corner.
them. Copycats.
Yeah.
I feel like my mic's in the wrong spot. I think it's my chair. That's all right. We're going to roll with it. Hey, guys, I'm Bill from Popfinity.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're bringing you the Scratching the Surface podcast, episode number 14, the big 1-4.
Yeah.
This is going to be it's going to be a fun one. I forgot to open up our notes, so I'm going to get that going. If you want to talk about anything that may have transpired, do you have anything?
I don't think we have any news.
Let's
No, we're
see.
still rocking. Currently working on an update.
Yeah, some minor stuff coming out for our Popfinity users. You guys will be able to see that. I feel like I'm blowing out my mic. Am I loud in your ears?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so our Popfinity people, you guys will be seeing some new, just minor things popping up here and there to smooth stuff out, just the way we do it. And so this episode 14 is all about authenticity. This is our part 1 because we feel like it's a big deal these days.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of...
You yes-manned me again.
There is a ton of information that can go into this, so we will be splitting this up into at least 2 episos. I mean, possibly even more.
Yeah, I think we could do endless parts on authenticity. I think this is a real big deal, especially these days. I mean, us in our industry, we see this a lot. I mean, it's like an epidemic of fake and knockoff stuff going on out there, which we'll roll in. But most of this episode is just about you guys, about our pet pros, and some circumstances that you can find yourself in where your business ideas are getting ripped off, or various different things are happening that are unpleasant. So we've seen a lot, and we're going to try to share that with you today.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to find that photo.
Okay.
For the one section, so you could start this off.
I'll kick it off. Yeah. So let's first talk about fake reviews and comments. So we are in the day of everyone wanting to leave a review, and you'll come across some reviews that are just not genuine, or reviews from clients that you've never actually serviced. So, at times.
Are you laughing at me?
No.
Okay, because I found the picture. I didn't know if you were
you?
peeking over my shoulder or what's happening.
I was just thinking about some of the fake reviews and comments that we've personally read out there, and that I've heard our pet pros talk about. And it's just, I mean, they get ridiculous. But you'll find that sometimes competitors will actually leave fake reviews. So we're not just talking about pet parents.
I actually saw one of those the other day. It was scathing. I think it was on Yelp, and it was for a groomer. And the guy that wrote it, I'm assuming it was a guy who had a guy's name and a picture of a dude. So the guy that wrote it was he put like a whole paragraph. I mean, you would think by the sheer volume of text that this was a viable thing. And savagely, the business owner wrote back only, "I'm sorry, let's say Mr. Smith, but I can't locate any records that we've ever serviced you or your pet. If you wouldn't mind writing into us about your pet's name and all the details they asked for, we'd be glad to handle this." And I was like,
perfect. Yeah, mic drop.
Mic drop that thing. I mean, they handled it savagely perfect. I mean,
Absolutely.
It takes so much effort to be able to respond to that so calmly.
Yes.
Actually, we had one of our own clients, but that's a different topic, but she handled something phenomenally the other day as well. But yeah, so this does happen, but sometimes you can respond in a nice way. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm butting in.
No, you're fine. But yeah, exactly. So you'll see either fake clients leaving reviews. Sometimes clients that couldn't get an appointment, they'll end up leaving like a 1-star review because they couldn't get an appointment with you and things like that, which is kind of ridiculous. But you'll also find that sometimes competitors leave reviews. And I mean, that's not really right or fair for anybody. So if you find yourself in a situation where a competitor or someone that hasn't been your client has left a review, we recommend, the first thing to do, dispute your review. So if it's fake, try to dispute it on whatever platform it's on. I know there are some platforms out there that won't let you dispute it. So in any other case where you can't dispute it and get it taken down, confront the review. Don't hide behind it. Don't just let it sit there. Confront it. If you've never serviced them before, tell them, just like Bill was mentioning, I don't see that ever serviced you before. Please contact us directly. Or if you know it's somebody down the street because they left their name and it's the owner down the street,
Say, "Hey,
Fluffy
aren't you
Cuts
the-"
owner or whatever.
Yeah, aren't you the owner of the
Yeah.
grooming shop right down the road?
Call them out. Say their name and say the business name so
Yeah.
other people know this business owner is going and slandering other businesses to get themselves.
Yeah, but disputing reviews, is always going to be the primary thing. The problem is it's similar to disputing payments these days. Disputing
Credit card payments.
replying to a disputed payment. I got myself confused there.
Yeah.
These days, it seems like basically anybody can just hit the dispute button. I didn't order this or whatever, and they win. Is what we're seeing. Even if you have receipts and you have all these track records of them actually making the purchase willingly. Doing the same thing, with reviews, it happens the same way. A lot of the review boards won't actually remove those, even though you have all this. You could provide them, just documents of evidence, and they still will be like, we're going to leave it because it seems right to us. So, you always want to challenge it first. Try to get that review removed. I mean, but talking to the people, be like, hey, Susie, like, dude, that's messed up. Like, I know that this is you, and if your business sucks that bad that you can't beat me by playing well, playing nicely, then
maybe don't say those exact words.
Spend some more of your effort getting better at your job. I mean,
but it's true. Yes,
that's just the way I look at it. I don't see, like, I'm not the kind of person that says go hit him in the shins with a stick, and if you can't beat him on the running, like, get better at running. You know what I mean? Like, that's
try harder.
Yeah, but that's seriously though, because it's messed up to do this. And if any of our clients do this, contact us. We'll give you some ideas on how you can beat them without having to go kind of black hat.
Them. Yeah,
dirty.
It's just not.
It's
not
business.
nice.
Because if that turns back around, it's detrimental. These reviews could tear you like completely apart.
Absolutely.
Like, one of the other accounts that actually just signed up a few days ago, I read some of the reviews, and there were numerous like 1-star reviews on there. It seemed like everybody started Me Tooing after the first person.
Yes.
So, as a buyer of their pet service, I don't know that I could get past that.
Yeah.
It's like one bad review, somebody like really ranting, like, I took my dog and then it took them 3 hours to get it done. Yes, it took 3 hours to get it done. That's just what happens. And they charged me full price, obviously, because that's the service you bought. So you can just skip right past that. But when it's something like, my dog was missing half his ear, but was he really?
And then you never actually service that client ever. Those are actual detrimental.
Show me the pictures.
Reviews.
Oh, no, don't show me the pictures. That would be. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, so we've seen this from a first person perspective. We've seen, complete fake accounts try to state stuff about the software with people that have never actually used it because they are.
Yeah, that happens a lot, even in, especially on Facebook. That's the worst.
Yeah, or even review boards. We've seen certain companies out there who went and purchased reviews, and you'll see a whole bunch of fake reviews on there for their software. Then all of a sudden they have all these reviews, and none of them are real. So we've seen it personally. We know you guys have too.
I'm gonna hit those numbers, the number spinners. So
the number spinners.
The number spinners. You have a lot of people that have these websites, and their marketing people are all like, yeah, let's start at 3,000 satisfied clients and all that stuff. That's fake stuff. It's fake reviews. People write up fake testimonials and stuff. That's not cool. So fake reviews and comments are real big, and so we try to stay away from that. And from the pet service software side of things, it's horrific. You have new software companies that literally that you could see. So from our perspective, this is our own first person because we talked about yours. We can see when these companies buy their domains. We can see when their system first went online, and we can actually look at the website.
Yeah.
We've seen numerous. Let's Go software was big on this. The first day out, they had 1,500 clients. The very first day they ever went into business, but that's not real. And so it gives people the impression that they're bigger than they are, but they're not. And so it leads straight into this like fake thing. There's all these fake things about the businesses, and you want to try to do what you can to stay on the right side of it. And you can try to correct these wrongs sometimes, but when it's your client, your competitors, in our case, when they're lying to people, it seems like it just backfires 100% of the time for us if we try to set the record straight.
Yes, unfortunately.
But we'll move into number 2. So number 2 talks about price shoppers and service trolls.
I love that word, service trolls.
Service trolls. So we had our own encounter with a service troll.
Yes, please.
And if I could get this to show here. There we go. Let's see if that's up there. Oh, there he is.
Don't be that guy.
Don't
In the back.
don't be that guy. Yeah. So we ran into this guy at Carowinds, and it was a really big troll, and he was pretty scary, and he wasn't very nice to us.
He was not.
So-
Don't be that guy. He's the guy that leaves fake reviews, makes fake profiles, and calls and trolls other businesses.
Yeah, and he's using all of your ideas and stuff. We're going to talk about more about that in just a minute. But yeah, he wasn't very friendly, and so don't be the troll. But also, we're going to show you a couple ways to mitigate these trolls.
Yeah, so you might find that other pet shops might start calling around and asking for pricing or the services you offer and things like that. My favorite is when they call and ask for like
Four different pets.
Yeah, Great Pyrenees full groom, a pug bath, a Chihuahua bath,
Yeah.
and a Shih Tzu full groom.
It's usually one from each category.
you
It's like a
really?
short-haired, like large breed dog. It's like
Yeah.
a long-haired, like small breed dog. And you got to wonder. I mean, because the habit is, and we see this. So you guys see this as well. I know you see this, but people tend to get the same pets. I mean, sometimes you'll see like a Great Dane and a Chihuahua in the same house.
Yeah.
That's number one. It's not safe. I mean, the Great Dane just lays down on top of the other dog. That's not going to end well. But they tend to stay with the same dogs. We see this all the time. 2 Schnauzers, 2 Maltese, 2
Yeah.
whatever. And so when you don't generally have 4 pure, not mutts. Mutts can be whatever, but purebred dogs that are all different. That doesn't usually happen. Just people's tech. I don't know.
And then, yes, but then
what
after
I've
they
seen.
ask for the pricing, okay, thank you, and hang up.
Right.
Like, okay, what in the world? What was that about?
That was a fake call from someone. We call
Yes.
them service trolls.
Yes.
And so with that, one of the ways that you can mitigate that, or at least make it more uncomfortable for the person, as well as also providing better service for a potential client who really does have 4 different dogs of all different kinds.
Yeah.
Everything.
It could happen,
A teacup
yes.
Yorkie all the way up to a Great Pyrenees. Is to ask them for caller information. So be like, okay, hey, you're looking for pricing. That's awesome. Give me your name, your first and last name, and your phone number, just in case we get disconnected. So at that point, you've established who you're talking to. And if they're like, oh, well, I don't, they're not real. And you can be like, all right, well, I can't really give you too much information about our services that we provide. I'll be able to give you a few little details, and you try to cut this call short. In my opinion, I mean, you guys do whatever you want.
You're
but
wasting employee time if
yeah.
not.
The cost to your business to field someone else's lack of research is not calling your competitors. That's just not part of it. Figure out how much money we've done a whole episode on this. Figure out how much money you need to make that service worth your while and cover your expenses for your business. That's the price for your groom. Period. It doesn't
not
matter.
What the competitors cost.
Because they could be charging $30 down the street, and you might need 60 to make it work. If you do 30, you might go out of business. So I don't recommend doing that.
Yeah.
Either find a more efficient way to get it done, or whatever, so that you can match that price. But you might have an actual different service.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, your business model might be completely different than theirs down the street. So it doesn't matter whether they charge $30 for a full groom or $100 for a full groom.
Right.
It's what your service is, what your business is. What kind of products are you using? What kind of environment do you provide them?
And that's how you make your pricing, which we'll have a whole episode possibly on that.
Yes.
At some point in time.
That's a great one, yeah.
But we're going to get off topic too far if we continue down that road. But
Yes.
getting the client information will allow you to, if they have a real client, someone that's an actual lead, you can start that new client process smoothly. And in Pawfinity, you can send them a quick appointment using just that information that you collected.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're not interested because of the price at that time, but they are a real client, now you have their information, so you can market to them in the future, and you're not wasting your employees' time, because that's a warm lead at that point.
Right. So now what we've done in that is we've made it harder for the fake account to continue down their, not fake account, but fake caller to do what they were trying to do, and you've made it better for an actual lead that's coming in.
Absolutely.
So this next one is really good.
Number 3?
No,
we didn't
talk about this here.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so gathering pricing alone does not provide them with the entire profile of the service being provided. They may end up with a knockoff of services we've been mentioning, missing out on the critical components of your unique service.
Right. So they're just going to give them a service for, $30. You don't know that the person on the road is just clipping nails for that. And how much is it to groom? Oh, it's $30. Okay, goodbye. Boom. And so you basically just sent that service troll all down the wrong way. They're going to be doing like ears and teeth and all this other stuff for $30.
Yeah.
That's awesome to me. I would love to do that, to be able to tell the competitor, a competitor something nonsense and have them try to track down that, which we do with quite a few of our competitors. I like sending these guys down on wild goose chases, trying to keep up with what we're doing. It's actually quite fun. And if it bothers you, then don't follow me.
Words of advice.
Yeah. If I'm annoying you, competitor, then you should probably not be watching what I'm doing. All right. So pop-up, number 3, we're talking about pop-up copycat businesses. So with this, we're talking about the employees that stay with you long enough to learn the business, and then
The mounts.
yeah, they take your clients and they go start their own.
Yes.
The benefits that you have on your end are that you know how to run a business, and they generally wouldn't because they were an employee. So it's something that in retail I call the assistant manager syndrome. And I saw it all the time where as a GM or multi-store manager, I saw the next tier down from the store, so your GM or your store manager, or however it's labeled in your business, the person that supports them, so the co-manager, their assistant manager, like 99% of the time thinks they can run the entire store, and they get very bitter about it, and they're like, I don't know why this guy's getting paid more money than me. I could do his
I could
job.
do it all. Yes.
Well, the problem is that lack of vision, that lack of that mindset keeps them from learning the whole business. They think they know it, so they don't bother opening their mind up. And your employees will be doing the same thing when they try to copy your business. So they're watching their own little, 1 square foot of the business operations, and then they're like, okay, all I need to do is now steal 100 of their clients, and I can start my own business. But that's not necessarily the case.
Absolutely, because they don't know how to actually run the business. They don't know everything behind the scenes. So what you'll want to do to help protect yourself, keep them in the dark on a lot of the topics. So
That they don't need. This is stuff that they don't need to know.
yeah, just tell them what they need to do, and that's it. If they ask additional questions, I mean, you can answer them if you want, but you don't have to.
Stay in your lane, Grandma. Was that good? I think I hit a real radio voice there. I was proud of that.
Yes. You have
me
the
see, is there-
clapper.
Oh no,
That's not the one.
that's the one. I think that is the right one for that.
But I mean, you don't want to give them all the information, so that way they've not only learned how to run a business from you, but they can gather a whole bunch of information, just
Right.
literally leave and go open up their own business.
And they generally will. We've seen this time and time again.
so many times.
We give our clients this advice. There's best practices for securing your information. Keep all of the managerial stuff completely separate. You never share profiles. You always have each employee logged in under their own account so you can keep them accountable. I mean, it's funny, we're talking about accountability
Yeah.
here. But you limit their access. If you're working from a physical location, your employees never need to see the client contact information. Your employees should never be able to download the client list, which
That's a big one.
they do all the
Yes.
time. If you're sharing a manager profile with people, sometimes we've seen companies that actually just leave a manager account logged in for everybody to use. But this employee that we're talking about here that wants to make your business will literally download your whole list, and they're good to go. They're going to say, hey,
Yeah.
Miss Johnson, remember I groomed Fluffy last week? Okay, I'm at a new location now. Why don't you bring your dog over to me?
Yeah.
Okay, and this happens because Miss Johnson knows the groomer and not the business owner or the business.
Absolutely.
So they're not even like stealing the client at that point. They're just moving their own clients out.
To the yes.
But
yes.
you, as the business owner, spend all the money procuring those clients.
Yes. So you want to try to disconnect the employees from the clients at whatever angle possible that you can. So one of the biggest things that comes to my mind is when business owners have their employees text their clients on their own phone.
Oh yeah.
Don't
That's nasty.
Ever do that.
No.
Because then when they want to go start their own business, I mean, say I'm the groomer, they've been talking to me the entire time, not the business owner. So
Right.
when I can just text them on my phone and be like, hey, this is my new location. We already have that connection.
And they get there and they don't see the other lady that owned the
The
business.
owner, yeah.
They don't see the other employees. They're like, where is everybody?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's just me now. But then they get uncomfortable and they stay
Exactly.
anyway. And it's like,
So there are ways to protect your business. I mean, if you utilize software, you can text them through the software itself. So that way the business owner still has all the communication in one place on their device, on their
Right.
own business
And-
device,
and
not
they can,
the groomers.
yeah, and they can distribute the load for communication between employees. You don't have to
Yes.
rely on.
One single
Listen, guys,
person.
I don't care who you use as software. If you can't do two-way messaging in 2022, then get something else, because we innovated that back in 2015. We've been having full text two-ways. We were the first ones.
Yep.
Two-way communication, full text. I think it was 2018 or so. We integrated emojis and everything into it. But when you put the messages through the system, yes, you have to pay for them. But in all honesty, it becomes a more streamlined communication device for the clients and the business. because let's say she was working for me there. If she's not working, the other employee is working, and the other employee can then respond to it. We don't all have to try to huddle around a cell phone and pass it around to people when you're typing with your thumbs. Get on a computer. Everybody can use it. You have all your messages coming from the same phone number that the clients get their notifications from, which is where they reply anyway.
Yeah.
And it just streamlines the whole experience. So never, I mean, excuse me, I don't even care if you're a single person show. You shouldn't be communicating with your clients directly from your personal cell phone. It just, if you hire somebody, then what? They have to, you have to hand them your cell phone for them to reply. No, you think about.
You can contact me here or here.
Or here, or here, or here.
Yeah.
And I see people try to funnel clients to personal cell phones for the business or whatever, away from whatever software they're using, away from the software and to the cell phone. But the problem is the client wants to respond through to the number that they got their reminder from.
Exactly, because if they got a reminder, they want to reply, hey, I can't make it, I need to move it, or yes, let's do it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they don't want to chase you all over the place. I mean, we're getting off topic here, but anyway, don't give your clients the employees' phone numbers because that's not good. But the best way to take care of this is to have your employees sign a non-disclosure agreement or a non-compete, which says that for like 18 months after they've stopped working for you, they're not allowed to open a grooming facility within a certain number of miles around your business. This is really common, but a lot of people don't know about it. This is probably, if you're going to take anything away from this episode, take away this. In your new hire packet, have an NDA or a non-compete agreement that was created by an attorney. Make everyone sign it.
Yeah, to protect yourself. And even if you don't want to say like, don't open it in this area, at least to not, what's that word? Advertise, like to not advertise against your own clients. So basically they can't take your client list and be like, hey, come to me now, to protect yourself. Is that considered a non-compete?
Non-compete just means like it's a certain duration and certain location.
Okay.
So like in, let's just say Wake Forest or Raleigh or Cary or whatever, if I hired you in Cary and I say that you can't work, you can't open, you can work, but you can't open your own place within 10 miles of me.
Yeah, because you can't stop them from working.
Right. But you can say that they can't open their own business, and especially not take your clients, which I don't think is legal, but I haven't had a chance to look that up. And even if it weren't legal, it's very hard to enforce. But let's move on to number 4.
Yeah, dealing with clones of your unique business ideas. So this is probably my favorite one of this entire...
I'm going to say my note in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So stealing is only fun if you're the thief. Let's think about that for a minute and just let it sink in, because that's really the truth.
Yep, stealing is only fun if you're the thief. So imagine you spend all this time coming up with this unique business idea. You know your clients are going to love it. People are really going to get into it. You spend all the time doing the research, how to properly put it out there. You put it out.
Hired marketers even sometimes, right?
You put it out. It's doing great. And then 2 weeks later, someone has the same exact idea and
Down
they're
the
pushing
road.
it as their own.
Right. What's even worse? Yeah. Oh man, this happens in our industry all the time. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's even worse when they try to call themselves the innovator, but they've literally just ripped off everybody else on the market.
Yes.
So yeah, when this happens to you, I mean, you can use things in your own marketing, such as the original or the exclusive, and just try to distinguish yourself from the fakes and the copies. And you could do that a lot. I don't know, by really pushing your brand. As the innovator, I mean, it does have an impact, but unfortunately, once you've gotten ripped off, this is really hard to recover from.
Well, I mean, you can try to explain why you came up with that idea, why you came up with that specific topic.
Make a video. I think that's really good. If you had a video and it were like out there on YouTube and stuff, and you were talking about
social media, things like that.
Innovating, and you could reference that video all the time. And I think having that video out, it's pretty hard to dispute. Like, for example, if you decide to start a podcast once a week on Mondays at 10 Pacific time, that seems to mirror our exact podcast on Mondays at 10% Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern. You can't prove that, you cannot be the innovator, because we've been doing it. This will be 14 weeks we've been going on now.
A long time.
And, the other company's been doing it for 2, or whatever.
Yeah, but, same thing with the webinars.
So with us, in our particular circumstance, the track record is there, and so for your businesses, I mean, you just have to find a way to kind of deal with it. I mean, adding watermarks and stuff to your marketing
your
materials.
pictures. Yes. So this actually, this is not double whammy, but it's like a double benefit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Put your logo or like even your business information, print out a piece of paper, put it into the pictures because it makes it so people can't steal that picture and say that's their groom, which we know happens
You might want to use something a little nicer. All I pictured was what we do at the beginning of the episodes, where you're like drawing
like
your name.
Nicely like printed
Buy
with
fluffy
nice
cuts.
font, even like those clear like stands that you can just slip a paper into, something like that, or the little message boards where you can put the letters up, anything like that. But it also advertises your business. So if someone is sharing the photo, say your clients, or you keep pushing it out there, people will see your business name, and then if you include your number in there, I mean, that's all they need to call and make an appointment.
Yeah. So the difference between what she's talking about and a watermark is the watermark will be like a kind of semi-transparent logo of some sort
That's
kind of like placed across the picture, across a part of the picture that they would need to be able to use your marketing. So this is what we're talking about when you're talking about marketing material and photos and stuff that's gotten stolen from you and used by other people, which happens a lot for trainers and groomers specifically. The people that don't do too much work or whatever. But what's funny is it's a super catfishing thing. This stuff is like, it's super entertaining for me because I don't understand the mindset of the people that are knocking off other people's stuff necessarily, but it's like a catfishing scenario. I mean, somebody sees this picture of this beautiful like facility and this gorgeous dog or this amazing work, and they get to the shop and it's like dirty and dark. There's like 14 lights that don't work, and this dog hair hanging off the table and with like a spider web.
This picture behind us, and they get they get the complete opposite.
Yeah, I mean, this was a beautiful salon.
That's what I'm saying. They expect this picture because they see something like that.
Right. Well, this isn't real. I want to be very transparent. I can't touch it because it's not one of those little Zoom background things where we're skipping. Skipping. Yeah, I wonder what that would look like with two people. I mean, it wouldn't be able to grab anything.
I have no idea.
There'd be like big gaps, like we were getting swallowed into the abyss coming out here. I was actually on a Zoom call. Somebody was bouncing because the background was so messed up. The actual person was bouncing up and down like this. I was like, this guy has a really nervous tick, or something's going on. I mean, literally, it was like I'm trying, and I was getting seasick or something because it was like. But so, a case in point, add a logo to your media. Nobody can steal this and claim that we are John Smith and Ethan, or they can't steal. They can't take our actual podcast and claim that we are them.
Yes.
From New Jersey, Los Angeles, but we can use your brand.
Sorry.
Include your company branding in the background of images.
Yes.
Right.
You don't have to go get some fancy, like I say, you don't even have to go get fancy stuff. You don't have to do Photoshop every time. Even if it's just one of those message boards where you can put the letters and the numbers on it.
Get fancy. I think get fancy. I think
yes,
it's
fancy,
cheap.
but if you can't,
no.
there are
So what
other
do we have?
options.
What do we have? We have Vistaprint. Who else prints? Like when we have our stuff that we take to the trade shows and all that.
Vistaprint is the one that, there's like local UPS stores.
Yeah, the
UPS
FedEx print shop deals. I mean, you can
Staple, anything like that.
It doesn't have to be like a postcard or anything. It can be a literal color. I mean, you could print that from your computer.
Like foam. Yeah, you can print it from your computer.
Because once you slide it into one of those 8x11
that's what I was talking about,
acrylic
the
stands.
little plastic stands.
Or the little ones, all different sizes. I mean,
but you spend, for instance, I've seen this happen. People spend so long coming up with a really good, like those backgrounds, like the little background things that you guys like to make with props and stuff. You spend all this time coming up with it, and then someone else steals the idea. But they might not know why you put all that stuff in there. They might not know why you did that, but they're just going to come up with the idea and push it as theirs. So
that's our environment these days. It's the lack of creativity.
Yes.
By stealing other people's creativity.
Okay.
Pinterest.
Yes. Okay.
Let's just. I can mic drop on pink.
You can just drop it right there. Crickets.
What is it that people do now? They search for good gift for 30-year-old man or something like that, or good gift for, and then like Pinterest shows up, and then you don't have to even think about stuff.
Yes.
I can't. I'd rather get a bad gift. I'd rather get a bad gift for someone
getting your idea
than just go pick it from someone. I know I'm weird.
creative,
I know. Whatever. Let me boo myself. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Let me do this because I know nobody agrees with me. But
for instance, like
That's okay.
In our perspective, I've personally spent time to come up with ideas to just help get our clients out there and spotlight our clients, because we have some really awesome clients.
Called the business spotlight.
I called it the business
You
spotlight
started this. That was Lauren's idea
a
about.
long time
Yeah,
ago.
almost.
I mean, it took me weeks to come up
Yeah.
with this. I perfected the entire plan. I came up with it. Literally, like the next month, there were 2 other companies that completely
Started doing
knocked it
business
off.
spotlights, but they were thin. I mean, we have case in case, to talk about,
so-
like the about me section of the website where I personally wrote like an essay. I got
Yeah.
really into that. I was excited about that. I was like, you know what, let me, because back then everyone was talking about, Big Bad Bill being mean to people and this and that, and he doesn't know this and that. So I wrote up a whole bio about myself and my business experience.
Another company took the same format.
How do you copy someone's about us and like change a couple
Which
things?
they have now removed from their website. It's not on there.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. The same company. I mean, this
guys.
stuff is ridiculous. This is accountability. I mean, so dealing with fakes. I mean, you can't copy someone's about story. This is the origin story for Poffinity,
Yes.
not Let's Go software. It's Poffinity. And so, that was written genuinely. I think I spent like 3 days writing that.
It's been a long time, and you
Which
were
I don't.
very excited about
Yeah,
it.
it was cool,
I mean,
but
it's a
they ripped it
journey.
off.
There was an entire journey that you went
Yeah.
on to get here, and
But the
you wanted
difference-
to share that with people.
The difference is that there were pictures. And so this is what we're talking about, being unique, showing
Yes.
what it is that you do. I had pictures in my about of all those different phases of the, ridiculously long journey it took to get where we are today. I had pictures. And so you can't really dispute that. I mean, you could see, I'm not looking like I did 13 years ago or 15 years ago. I don't look the same. So if you look at the picture now and the picture of the first step of it, you could see, whoa, Bill was looking pretty young back then, and now he's looking kind of old. So that's obviously real.
It's people ideas to Photoshop.
I know, Photoshop. You put yourself in one of those like reverse aging things, and then stand next to something and superimpose a dog. I mean, so the Amazon dogs that are superimposed onto the dog crate things.
Where you see the product pictures where the human's huge and the products are smaller, vice versa.
Or the baby is enormous. You gotta love that. You see baby products and there's like a little baby on there, but
It's
they're
like
huge. And
3/4 of the size of the crib.
there's a those fakes did not get done well. They did it. I mean, you have to laugh at this stuff because it's ridiculous. I mean, that same company, just to not drag this through the toilet, but this is our experience, and we have, yours. But
The
that same
update.
company, they had a list of all the online booking updates that they were going to do.
Yes.
Well,
Out of 36 features, 28 of them
I don't know.
were ones that
like
we had already just released.
85% of their update was planned to be a clone or a knockoff
copy.
of the online booking system that took us 2 years to build. Well, guys, we dropped a major dime in that, and it's extremely complex. And it seems like, since they're no longer planning to do any of that it was way more than they could take on.
They removed a lot of it,
And
yeah.
so, their knockoff will be a little bit thin now. So, and that just loops back to what Lauren was saying, that they don't know what it is that you're doing. They don't know how you got there, why you chose, the heart backgrounds around your dogs. I mean, it's ridiculous what we're saying now, but this is just the simplest idea we can give you. They don't know why your logo looks the same way, which we've had issues with knockoffs of our logo recently as well.
Oh my.
So just do what you're going to do because it's what you're going to do.
Yes.
The other people are always going to be one idea, one step behind you, no matter what. I mean, no matter how hard they try to catch up.
So, yeah.
Innovate your own stuff.
Exactly. So don't worry about it. So if someone does end up copying you, don't stress out about it. Keep on innovating. Keep on pushing forward.
Which stresses them
Because
out.
you're-
That's
yes.
my favorite thing to do
Yes.
is if we have any competitors watching, hey guys, my favorite thing in the world is to stress you out by releasing ridiculous things that you can't.
Well, because the thing is, it's genuine for you. It's you came up with it. You know why you're doing this. It's genuine to you and your business. So you can
Right.
keep pushing forward while they're just stressing out trying to copy everything you do. So
It seems unfair that you, as a grooming salon, you'll come up with this great promotion. You'll contact a local humane society or shelter. You'll get the people out there. You'll have like vendors with food trucks and stuff. You have this great event, and you spend a lot of time on it. And then your next groomer down the street is just writing down, okay, I'm going to contact, Myrtle Beach Humane Society. I'm going to contact, Tacos World, Taco Truck, because they showed up. And then I'll hire these people.
and then they come up with the same
And then
thing
it takes them 2 minutes. But you know what? They're a month, 2 months, a year behind you when you had your great idea. So just keep innovating. I mean, don't be one of the sheep, be the wolf out there, be the shepherd. I mean, you could be the wolf. I don't mind being the wolf. Okay, be the shepherd. That's nicer. But get out there and innovate stuff. Forget about these fakes. They can't keep up with you, apparently. They say the best form of flattery is like copying, but that was written by somebody that likes to copy stuff. That wasn't written by the person that was innovating. I'm telling you that much. Because it is frustrating. I mean, it is.
It's extremely frustrating. But, I mean, just brand yourself as the original, brand yourself as the exclusive. If you need to come up with a little video, I mean, just pull out your iPhone, have an employee film you. Why did we come up with this idea? Well, we did this because...
And there's more content there, because what she's saying is you're creating, it's more genuine. You know what I'm saying?
It's like an environment around the idea. It's not just the idea.
It builds the genuine. It builds the idea. It becomes more substantial. You're adding substance because you can actually explain it. Like if we go ask the other software company, why did I choose to use rules and all this other stuff inside the online booking? Oh, I don't know. You did it, so we wrote it down like we were going to do it. But they have no excuse. You guys ask me, and I could talk to you for like 5 hours about why I did that and how this determined to work. So you create, your business practices. Why do you do adoption events once a month or something like that? I mean, you might have a rescue dog. I mean, Sketch was a rescue dog, and I had adoption events at the pet store, and it was fun. Why did I do adoption events? Because I enjoyed watching people come play with these dogs that didn't have owners. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. That's why. Yeah. Why did somebody else do it? I don't know. But I did it because I had a rescue. I think he had a better life after he came with me. But and so that's what it was. So just be genuine. And in the end, I mean, to wrap it up, it might be deflating when others come and just take your ideas, but just keep your head up and keep innovating, and there'll always be one idea back.
Absolutely.
No matter what happens. They can't beat you if they're always copying what you're doing.
Yeah. If they copy your idea, just come up with another one. Come up with a better one. Keep moving forward.
Yeah. I just know that every time you create that next idea, they're
going to be watching.
There's a panic.
There's those copycats that I showed earlier, peeking around the corner. I mean, they're always going to be there.
Right. The service trolls. I mean, they always have to figure out their price based on what you're doing.
Just know that you're doing something right. If you're
keep their phone number and then give them ridiculous prices.
If they always call.
Yes. Yeah, once a year you get a call from this really weird person with a Chihuahua and like a Great Pyrenees.
Your Chihuahua is going to be $575 just to do its nails.
Yeah, this COVID charge. COVID surcharge is $392. Yes. Why? Because they did it down the road. I called the other company and they were doing it, so I added $395. But now we're just rambling. This has gotten ridiculous out of hand. I think we went so far off the reservation this time that it's not even funny.
But
okay. Where are we?
Just
yes, that's
keep moving forward. Keep innovating.
We're wrapped.
Yeah.
I think that's going to about do it for episode 14 on authenticity, part 1, dealing with fakes, clones, and creative theft. And it happens all the time. It happens to us, happens to you. And keep your head up, Buttercup. Right?
Yes, keep moving forward.
And to the trolls, keep falling further behind. All right, that's going to wrap it here. All right, guys, we'll see
you next Monday at 10 a.m.
Yeah. Where we'll bring you more nonsense and ridiculous. But these topics are good, though. We're giving them good information, and it's all free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoops.
We need to...
Oh, I killed the music. Oh.